Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Jolie Vega. So today's video, I tried to do it a while back. Did not like how the video came out, but the subject that I was talking about in the video is it was supposed to be like my first kind of talk through, chit chat, do my makeup video, kind of a get ready with me chit chat thing. But I did not like the video. So I did still want to talk about the subject, but I felt like I can't explain things any better than I did in that video. So what I'm going to do is, it's going to be a little different. I'm going to put that video somewhere on the screen, somewhere up above on the screen. And so you'll see me talking in that one, but you'll see me doing the makeup in the larger portion of the video. So yeah, because I can't explain it any better, I feel like, and I still have the same feelings. So I still hope that someone, that you all will give me a comment, let me know about your experiences, any advice that you might have for me, because yeah, I'm spilling some tea in this video, getting kind of personal. It's talking about relationships and, situations I've been in with men, and whether or not I would ever consider wanting to ever try a relationship again, or try marriage if marriage were on the table. Like, is it something that I would consider? So yeah, I'm talking about a lot of personal things in this video. So I really hope that you enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to getting some feedback from you all, because I know I'm like not the only one who's dealt with a lot of these things. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have some feelings about it. So I would love to hear from you guys. And yeah, so I hope that you enjoy the video. One thing I did want to say, like, I keep feeling like I'm being so washed out, and my sister, she's just trying to explain to me again. She's like, I don't think you realize how light you are, because for me, I'm still the same shade that I was, but apparently I'm not, because some kind of way I'm lighter than my sister now. And I just kept feeling like my foundation and stuff was just not working, so I've been mixing them and everything. But yeah, trying to figure out the studio light and all of this, and she's like, you don't realize how light you are. And it's probably because I do not go out in the sun often at all. When I do go out, like if I have to go to doctor's appointment or stuff, in the car, right into the doctor's office and back to the car, or if I go out like to the pool or something, sun's got to be going down. So yeah, she was trying to explain it to me. But another thing, because I know that a lot of people will probably ask what lipstick this is Morphe Bloodshot. I feel like it's kind of like a stain or something, but it dries down, like it really dries down. So I really think that the lighting or the camera is not like doing it justice, but yeah, this color is definitely really pretty, but it will smudge and smear, so you got to be careful. I did a test today, and it wasn't as bad. It wasn't as bad actually today, so make sure it dries down really good. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and that you will, like I said, comment. I will try my best to list products down below. But yeah, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I just want to say again, thank you to anyone who subscribes, anyone who watches any of my videos. I'm slowly growing, and so appreciative for every single subscriber, every single view that I get. Thank you so much. I'm so excited about it. And I can't wait to do even more. So yeah, keep watching. I think you'll like this video. I think you'll enjoy it. So. So I'm gonna go back a little bit in time. But first, what I'm gonna say it's about is, like, lately I've been like in my head about things, because after having relationships, and I'm gonna talk about me personally, and what I wanted for myself, my beliefs, and what I wanted for myself. and relationships that I've been in with men, how it got me to this point to where I am now and how I feel. So basically, right now, my feeling is like I've been like closed off to the idea of, trying to start a relationship with anyone, or even the thought of the possibility of marriage. And that's where I am at this moment. And you'll hear why I got to this point. First, I'm gonna say that, like, even when I was younger, like, my whole thing was, I thought that I would be married. I thought I would be married like a while ago. I thought I would be married. I thought I would be married. I thought I would have children, and we would have our nice little family. And, I work as a nurse. He worked at whatever he works at, and we, have this nice little family, and we share the same beliefs, and, which would help with that, And so that's what I saw for myself. And up to this point, that has not been the case. I'm not married and I don't have children. So, which at times, like, I'm more content at times because I have so many nieces and nephews that I absolutely love. And I feel like a lot of energy that would have been given to my own children, like, I could put into my nieces and nephews. But right now, I'm not putting any energy into them because I'm at physical therapy and all of that. So we'll see. But I do feel like that a lot of, if I had my own children, it would have taken away a lot of the energy and time that I put in for my nieces and nephews. So I try to be content in that way. And so anyway, let's go back now. Okay, so that's what I thought for myself. I would either have a husband and we would either have children, or we would not have children, and I would be okay either way. Like, if I found a man and he wanted children, I was not opposed to that. I love children. If I found a man who didn't want children, I wouldn't be opposed to that, because I can be content with, because I have nieces and nephews that I love so much and I love as my own. So that, those two things would not be a problem in the situation. Either way, I would have this husband who loves me and I love him. So I would say, like, before I get into specific relationships, I guess, I've had like relationships or guys that I've talked to, and some have just been, you find out not truthful, or you find somebody that you're really into and you're supposed to be together, and you catch them flirting with like their ex and stuff like that. And me, the type of person that I used to be, it was done after I see that. Like, if I'm around, especially I'm around and you're flirting with your ex and you don't even notice me, that's a problem. Okay, that's a serious problem. Like, go back to the ex then. And I would cut it off. And that's the type of person that I was. And so I'm going to move on to specifically someone after that, which is the point where I started to, the first time I like cut myself off to the thought of talking to anyone. I wouldn't talk to anyone on the phone, couldn't get my number. I'm just not interested in dating. Thought of marriage, not interested if it wasn't this specific thing. Because for me, I always wanted my husband and I think I said it already, to have the same beliefs. So going back to this situation, me and this guy, we didn't have the same beliefs exactly, but we're really into each other and things are going great. We're spending a lot of time together. Friends and family are seeing us together and all of this. And one day he tells me that some kind of way an ex that he had been avoiding had got in touch with his parents. I don't know the full story on whatever happened after that, but anyway, yada yada. He was telling me that he was getting back together with his ex. Sorry, I talk with my hands too, sorry. So yeah, he's telling me that he's getting back together with his ex, but he still wanted to talk to me. My question to him was, why? Like, why would I want to talk to you? Does that make any sense? I don't think I asked him that. I know I asked him why would I want to do that, you know, so cut him off, you know, we're not talking after that. You know, we were moving towards something, I thought it was still, you know, it wasn't too far into it, but you know, we were really moving forward with things. And now you're with your ex, but you want to talk to me? What would that make me in this situation? So no, that's not a thing I would do. And another thing that I am going to talk about is celibacy. My celibacy. I've had guys who love the fact that you're celibate, okay, and they want to marry a good girl, right? But then they try to get you to give up that celibacy and not wait for marriage, which was what they claim was one of the things that attracted them to you. So I've had those type of guys also. And then I had the guys that, so after that guy who said he was going to go back to his ex, let's get back to that, I cut off everything. Like, I don't want anyone's number. I don't want to talk to anyone like that. I'm not interested. I'm not even thinking about the possibility of marriage at this point. And I just cut it off. But I said that, okay, if I find that person who I have the beliefs with, then maybe. But here's the thing. I have met, like, I've seen some really bad relationships and some relationships that I never wanted to, you know, I didn't want those kind of relationship, didn't want that kind of relationship. I've seen those types. With my experiences, haven't been great ones with, you know, the guys, the men that I've come to be in a relationship with or whatever. And but I have seen like some really good guys also. Like, I've seen some really great marriages that are still going on, happily married. And I've seen some, you know, I've met some really good men who had the same beliefs as I did, who were interested in me. And unfortunately for me, I didn't have the attraction, the physical connection and attraction to them. So they were really great, same, you know, beliefs, spiritual beliefs and all of that, which was the number one thing, but we didn't have that other connection. So I didn't feel like I would, you know, I'm not the type that I'm going to string somebody along because, okay, maybe this could be a backup plan because at least we have this, you know, this spiritual thing going on. Maybe one day I can be attracted to you. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. And I know for a fact that these men were good men and were looking for marriage because some of them found that marriage mate not long after I turned them down, basically, you know, for dating or whatever, courting, dating. So, and I even know some of the wives, and I think it's beautiful because that's the way it should be. They have the same beliefs, yet they were attracted to each other, and their marriages are still lasting and wonderful marriages. And, you know, I pray that it stays that way. That's exactly what I wanted, but I wanted it to be with someone I had all of that with. So I'm not gonna say that all men are like liars and trash and dogs or all of this, because that's just not the case. I know that there are some great men out there still, men that are looking for marriage. Unfortunately for me, I haven't found like those men to cross my path. and we have all of this, you know, the whole connection together. So anyway, yeah, so after that guy who went back to his ex, that was my thing. I would only ever consider it if I found that type of man with my beliefs, with that whole connection and attraction. Otherwise, I didn't give anybody any attention at all. And I was okay with that. I was content with that, and that was okay. But then I had like some situations where I was like, okay, well, me and this person, we can definitely be friends. And all of a sudden, you and this friend are now talking every single day. When you're not talking, you're texting. When you're not texting, it's like, it was just always like, it ends up building up to, okay, now you're in a relationship, which is not something that I was looking for at all. Like, I don't put myself out there. Like I said, I had closed myself off to the possibility, except for these certain things had to be exact, you know, in that, you know, I had to have those certain things. So these friendships that turned into relationship that I wasn't looking for, and I don't know, it just happened, okay? It just happened because they didn't have the beliefs that I had, and that was my number one thing that I wanted. But now, talking as friends, we've grown this connection, and we have the attraction. Okay, the physical attraction is there. But we don't have the spiritual beliefs and connections, you know, matching. But anyway, I will say this: some people, but in my case, I'm talking about these men. Some men are good liars, and some men are not good liars. For me, I'm upfront, I'm honest. I thought I heard something. For me, I'm upfront, I'm honest. You're gonna know about my celibacy. You're gonna know about my beliefs, and you're gonna know that not for anyone or anything am I gonna give up my beliefs and my faith and my trust in God. You're not gonna get me to give that up, you know, no matter who you are. And that was my thing. Like, up front, let's talk about this. How does that make you feel? What, you know, like, is there going to be a problem for us to have a relationship? And, you know, like in the beginning, a lot of men, in my case, I'm going to say men, will tell you what you want to hear. Will tell you exactly what you want to hear. And no, I don't have a problem with that. And they love that you're celibate and, you know, all of this. And yes, they're looking to date, to grow into a relationship, to find a wife and all of this stuff. And they'll tell you that in the beginning. And unfortunately for me, I found that with certain people in relationships I've been in, that was not exactly true. And for like definitely one guy, I knew for a fact, like, he was a liar. Like, there's no doubt for me that he was a liar. Like, I had people that tell me stuff, not even knowing that we were like, you know, in a relationship or talking or anything. And so people would tell me stuff, and they didn't even have to tell me anything. Like I said, they didn't even know about us anyway. But like, they didn't have to tell me anything because I could see things that happened. Like, for instance, he used to go out of town a lot, and before I let him know that I noticed the difference when he would come back from being out of town, I remember one time, like, he was pretty sick before he went out of town. So I know that I was trying to check on him, see how he was doing, whatever. And I can't remember what happened, what I might have said. Like, I don't know, something like, I tried to call you or reach you or something like that. This man went off on me, okay? Yeah, like, I don't always have my phone. My phone was in my bag and all of this stuff. And it's like, what did I do? I was trying to check on you because you were sick, and I was trying to see if you felt better. That's it. So, me, I'm like, come on, this guy, he's got somebody wherever he's going out of town. I'm not going to tell you where he's going, but I know where he was going. But I'm like, he's got somebody. And I didn't say that to him, but I did tell him, I'm like, you know, you treat me differently when you come back from being out of town. And of course he denied it, whatever. But anyway, I knew, like, he wasn't a good liar, okay? That's one of the examples of somebody not being a good liar, and me actually knowing this. And so when things ended, and then he tried to like say, okay, I want to be serious. Other issues with him was he didn't want to sacrifice anything, compromise, you know, not even just sacrifice, compromise. Like, he wanted me to compromise everything about myself. He wanted me to compromise all of my beliefs. Like I said, with my celibacy, with wanting to wait till marriage to have children, to wait for marriage to live together. Like, he wanted me to compromise everything. Everything about myself, with him not making any, you know, any effort to meet me anywhere, not in the middle, not anywhere in this situation. So yeah, needless to say, that didn't work out. But I really wasn't heartbroken, I would say. I know I checked on him because things like when he moved, he wound up moving, and things I guess weren't going great once, you know, when he first moved. So, you know, I tried to check up on him and stuff like that, but I wasn't like devastated or anything like, oh, this relationship is over. It was more so like we had talked so much all the time. It was really a thing of like, okay, I lost a friend. You know how you have that, like, I lost a friend, but I didn't really lose someone that I saw marriage with. So that wasn't the devastating, heartbreaking relationship kind of thing. But yeah, so my family doesn't know this. Like I said, I'll know if they watch this video, okay? Because I'm about to tell you this. There has only been one person in my life, one man in my life that I've been in a relationship with that I thought I saw marriage with. Like, I saw this man is my husband. And during this relationship, I felt like we were, in the beginning, working towards that. Although some of us, like, again, I wasn't looking for a relationship. I wasn't looking. After the guy that moved away, again, I wasn't looking for a relationship. I wasn't putting myself out there. This just kind of a thing that happened. So yeah, so we were like, in the beginning, it was really good. Like, very much giving me, you know, deep conversations, sharing what we wanted, sharing that we wanted to be married, shared my celibacy, of course, shared my beliefs, and the fact that I was not going to compromise on, you know, certain beliefs. And, you know, he was, now that I think about it, I guess for a lot of things, he probably was kind of, again, telling me what I wanted to hear. But if I didn't say it before, being grown, okay, we're all grown, like, I'm going to be upfront and honest with you. I expected that from this person too. And so this person, like I said, was the only person I ever thought that, okay, this is my person. This is the one I'm going to marry. He doesn't have the beliefs that I have, which is very unfortunate because that was like the first thing that I wanted out of marriage anyway. And so I'm already like compromising a little bit on that. But I said, you know, as long as he understood that he was not going to take me away from that, and that time and effort would be put into that, and my faith and beliefs. So he was, you know, what he said, that was fine. You know, I could do that. He wouldn't try to take me away from that. That was all fine, you know. And we used to, like, our sense of humor was pretty on point together. Like, he made me laugh a lot, so, you know, had a lot of laughs, had a lot of deep conversations about just everything. And so, like I said, I wasn't looking for a relationship, but okay, here I am in a relationship, and I'm just growing closer, and becoming more attached to this person. And I don't feel like I was like so attached that I wasn't doing the things that I normally would do, because I was still doing the things I normally would do, but I feel like I was putting a lot of effort and, you know, just myself into, you know, being with this person. And at first it seemed like he was doing the same thing, and then, you know, eventually it got to, you know, I love you, he loves me, we're in love. You know, he says he's in love with me, I say I'm in love with him, you know, whatever. I love you, we're in love, right? So it did get to that. But I had kind of told myself that I would give it a certain amount of time, and if I wasn't seeing effort and us moving forward, then I would have to cut it off. Because like I said, that was the kind of person that I was before, like, but I would cut it off pretty quickly. This time, because like this relationship was different. That's why I say this is the only one that I saw marriage with. So this relationship was different. And I knew that I needed to give myself that kind of time frame, to where I needed to cut it off if it wasn't progressing to where we needed it to go. Because if I haven't said it, I'll say it again. I've always said to anyone, coworkers, whatever, it's not going to take years and years and years for somebody to know that they're in love with me and want to marry me. It does not take that long. And so I let it go on, I feel like, longer than I should have, because it stopped being where he was putting forth the effort that he used to. He wasn't putting the energy into our relationship that he should have been, not prioritizing it the way that he should have been. Like, for me, he was a priority, you know? Like, he was definitely a priority in my life, and I was like, you know, ready to compromise on things, because I was like, if you're going to be my husband, you would be the head of the household. And so on, you know, we're supposed to communicate and work things out and everything, but you're going to be the head of the household, and I'm going to follow your lead on things, you know? But still, with being head of the household, it's like having that respect and love and still listening to your wife, kind of head of the household thing, you know what I mean? So I was ready to like compromise and turn my life like upside down, basically, in certain ways for this relationship. Because, you know, if you're my husband and you're taking care of home like you're supposed to, then I'm gonna go where you need to be, you know, for work and whatever. So I was gonna be okay with that. He knew that, and he knew what I was looking for in a mate. Like, let's move towards a mate that's ready to move towards marriage and having a life and family, you know. And like I said, with or without children, we would still be, you know, him and I would be family. And I don't know, it's like there's things I should have picked up on, and maybe it's things that I just didn't want to pick up on, because this was the most vulnerable I had ever been in a relationship. Most vulnerable. I told him everything about me, like everything, anything that happens to me. And I was like wanting to communicate, like, how's your day? How's my day going? How's his day going? You know, make me a part of your life. I want to make you a part of my life. And we used to have those really, like I said, really good conversations, and be able to laugh, and it was just like a connection that I had not had with anyone. So yeah, only one person I've ever felt that way about. But later on, like, things that I should have, like, I really should have stuck with what I felt as far as cutting things off, or when I felt things should be cut off, because after you've shown me, like, you're not putting the effort in, and you're not, you know, still showing me that we're moving towards something, I should have cut it off, right? I didn't, foolishly, because I love this person, and I've never loved a person like that before. And so, like, the heartbreak of it, the disappointment of it, and I know I've said in other videos, like, I'm a crybaby now, so I'm trying not to go there. And I would never want any one of the guys to think it's about them. So if they ever were to see this video, or somebody tell them about this video, because, you know, some of us do run in the same circles a little bit. But yeah, so the heartbreak and the disappointment was a whole lot for me. Like, because I didn't want past trust issues to be a problem in this relationship. I definitely had them, and we had talks about that too. And I didn't want trust issues to affect our relationship. So I allowed myself to, like, give him more of a benefit of the doubt than maybe I should have. And I allowed myself to be so vulnerable to him, or with him, that maybe I wasn't, you know, like, maybe I would see things, but I really wouldn't, like, try to pay too much attention to it, and feel like, and think like, okay, nah. And then, like, even with us talking, like, the communication started to not be there the way that it was before. And I talked to him about that, and, like, sometimes other things would come up, and, like, I would try to talk to him about it, and if he didn't want to talk about something, sometimes he would be like, he would just try to change the subject, or he would just be like, we're not talking about that. And sometimes he would just, like, completely shut down. And so I know that, you know, looking back, those things I probably should have paid more attention to, or, you know, allowed myself to let it go, because I was still holding on, hoping that he would be what he said he was. And, you know, sometime before, he's like, well, if you want someone perfect, I'm like, I don't want anyone, no one's perfect, I'm not perfect, so I'm not gonna find a perfect relationship. Like, even if I find someone with the same beliefs as I have, like, it's not gonna be a perfect thing. Like, I feel like it's a better chance for us. But I had really hoped for me and this guy that, because he was okay with me sticking with my beliefs, and we could still have our relationship too, and it wouldn't affect my beliefs, I was still hoping that, you know, that he would go back to what he was, what he said he was, and we would have that communication like we had before, and we would have, you know, we would still be connected like we had before. But I I was picking up on, like, he wouldn't let me into certain parts of his life, I feel like. And I should have pressed more for that. Like, I talked to him about it, and probably more than once, I'm sure I talked to him about it. Like, I want to be a part of your life. Like, and you're a part of my life. Like, you know everything about me, and I want to be a part of your life. Like, make me a part of your life. So I did notice that, like, he didn't always let me into certain parts of his life, and that kind of should have given me a clue as well. But, you know, I kind of was thinking too, like, some men, some women even, I guess, certain parts of their life they're not comfortable with sharing because maybe that was maybe it was a traumatic thing in their life, or maybe, you know, I don't know, it just, I guess I made excuses for him, basically, that allowed me to continue on in this, which obviously I should not have, because look where we are now. Like, we're not together, we're not married. I thought this was going to be my person and we would be married. So just things that I let go because I wanted certain things from him. And so, like I said, he was telling me all of these things, and I'm thinking, okay, we're going to where we're heading. We're going to be heading towards marriage and all of that. And so I didn't want to let it go, but I should have. Anyway, with that situation, like I said, there was only one person that I ever felt that deeply about, and that situation too, and probably the other situations, I'm not going to say it was specifically only one situation, but that situation was the most disappointment and heartache or heartbreak that I had ever had. So I think with that situation, and then, like I said, other situations that I dealt with men and trying to, you know, start relationships or be in relationships, once again, like, closed me off to the thought of a relationship, the thought of trying to start up something with someone, the thought of the possibility of marriage. So that's the thing I wanted to hear from you guys about. Like, maybe you have some advice for me. Maybe you have an experience you want to share. Like, did it work out for you? How did you heal if it was a relationship that ended? You know, maybe you thought you had found your person and suddenly, you know, things ended and didn't go the way that you thought they were going or had planned. So yeah, I want to hear from you guys about that kind of stuff. I hope that you comment, because I would really appreciate that. Like, I see a lot of things about how you need to heal, and I think maybe that's why I'm so closed off right now, because maybe that's the thing that I need to do. And so I love watching Maya Galore. She's on YouTube, and I've been watching her for a long time, and my sisters got sick of me talking about Maya, but one of the things I like about Maya is her belief in God. And Maya had been in some relationships that weren't good. Okay, so you can see it if you ever watch her channel. But she wound up finding a husband. She wanted a husband, but she had started doing like solo dates, you know, do makeup, get cute, dress up, take yourself out on a solo date. She started doing things like that. She started doing like, you know, just kind of, she would say, like, waiting on God's timing. So that's what she would say, but she started not like trying to force the situation, force the relationship, but she knew that she wanted a husband. And I thought it was so wonderful, so beautiful that, and I say beautiful, that, when she really wasn't looking, like suddenly she meets this man, and I think like a real estate agent or something had her go to some kind of event, and so she meets this man who winds up being her husband. And the thing I thought was great, like I was all for it. Some people, I guess, maybe commented and stuff that, you know, it was too soon or whatever, but for me, I was all for it because the timeline, if you watch her videos, the timeline, like they met, they were engaged quickly, they were married quickly. And for me, that's what I saw. And I know it can happen because, like I said, with the men that I said were really good men who were interested in me, but I didn't have that connection with, it did not take long for them. Once they found someone that, you know, they had the connection and the spiritual connection with also, it didn't take long for them to become married. And so I know it can happen, and I know that men that I've dealt with who have told me that, oh, it takes this long to get to know somebody before you even decide that you want to get engaged or married or anything. But like I said, for me, no, it does not take that long. It's not going to be years and years and years. I'm going to be in a relationship, and then you've seen where, you know, someone's been in a relationship for all these years, and then next thing you know, this person meets someone else. And okay, I'm not marrying you, but I'm going to marry this person that I've met recently. So no, that was never going to be a thing. I've seen that happen. Like I've seen relationships go on for years and they never get married. And so I never wanted that. You know, that was not a situation I said I would be in. And I'm not saying because the relationship that I was in, that I saw marriage with, it wasn't years and years and years. It was enough years, but it wasn't years and years and years. But yeah, I should have like ended it because we were no longer moving to where, you know, we needed to be in order to one day be married. So yeah, I thought that was cool with Maya, and I, you know, pray that her marriage is continues to be a successful, loving marriage, because that's what I see from them, and I see their communication and their love for each other, and I think it's awesome. And I've seen, like I said, I've seen some beautiful marriages in my, you know, that have the same spiritual beliefs, you know, so I've seen those too. But because of the heartbreak and the disappointment that I've dealt with, it's like closed me off. But I feel like it's like kind of sad for me to say that too, because I think right now I'm still in that stage where I need to heal, which I didn't think like I would be in that kind of a thing, because like I said, when I used to be like, I'm gonna end something, like I would end it, and I would like the one guy before, he's like, it's like talking to a brick wall, because that's how I was. Like, you're going back to an ex-girlfriend? Okay, we don't need to talk. And so yeah, he's like it's like talking to a brick wall, because once I ended it, it was done and I was moving on with my life. But once you are in a relationship where you truly feel like you're in love with this person, and you feel like they're really actually telling you the truth and in love with you, and that you're moving towards marriage, it's not that simple. Even for, you know, for somebody like me that used to be like, put you off like that kind of thing, it's not as simple as you would like it to be. Like, you still have these feelings, and that's why I said, like, I've been kind of in my head lately about everything, because I don't want to be so closed off that I don't consider marriage in the future. It's just right now, I don't think that, like, I was at a point, I know I told a friend that I was never doing this again. I told my friend that I was never, ever trying it again. Because she's like, you can find someone else. Sometimes things don't work out or whatever. We've all been burned once or twice or whatever. But yeah, I was like, nope, not gonna happen. Never gonna happen again. We're not talking to anyone ever. And that's the way I felt. But now that I'm in my head like today, and kind of why I wanted to kind of chat and just be a little more vulnerable and open, because I'm getting a little more comfortable with talking in the camera and talking to you guys on YouTube and everything. So I'm starting to get more comfortable with that. I feel like in the beginning I was like, because I'm really shy, so in the beginning I know I was definitely not comfortable at all. And I was just trying to do my best, but I'm getting a little more comfortable. But I wanted to just kind of talk and be a little vulnerable and talk about this situation, because I want to hear, like I said, from you guys, what your experiences are, what your advice to me might be, what ways do you think would help me to heal, things that I have planned or have been doing already is because of my faith and my belief in God. Prayer, definitely prayer, definitely getting into my Bible and all of those spiritual things that I need. That's definitely number one. And then, like I said, with Maya, with doing the solo dates and, just kind of fixing yourself up and taking yourself out on dates. And then I saw some things about romanticizing your life, do your bubble baths, light your candles and all of that stuff. I was like, I really wanted to get into that kind of stuff. Because I know I had done that sort of like, a while back. I used to kind of take myself on staycations and vacation, went to the beach, that kind of stuff, and out to dinner and stuff. And so I was like, and I just thought about this, like talking. I was like, I did actually used to do some of that, but then like I would always be one to like, it couldn't last long because now I want my family back. I want my family back around me. So yeah, I think the solo dating thing might actually be a good thing for me, and just kind of being with myself and not, and I just want to make sure that I'm content with myself, and in a sense of, okay, if I don't find a husband, that's perfectly fine and I'll be okay. But if I do find a husband, I'm good with that too. So I want to be in that space, because like I said, for my life, I always thought I would have a husband. Either we would have children together or we wouldn't have children. Either way, with the children's situation, I would be content, but I would still have my husband. And so that was what I saw my life as being. I would have my own little family. And because things have not worked out that way, which I thought it would work out that way a long time ago, but it has not worked out that way. And being burned in relationships and being just disappointed and lied to by a person that you really wanted to like spend your life with, and you wanted to put that trust in, that just my teeth again. But anyway, yeah, that just that's like a new level of why I don't want to deal with anyone. Yeah, that's on a whole nother level, like that show used to say. But then there was also like this show that I can't remember which show it was, but it was a man, and he was just like, he was in love with a woman, but like all of a sudden she broke up with him. And it was just like, he was heartbroken and wanted to know, like, why did that happen? And he was just like upset and heartbroken that at any time a person, even a person that you're in love with and that claims to be in love with you, can just say that it's over. And I think that's also like where I am, because like at any moment, because of what I've dealt with already, it's like, do I want to put myself in that situation again where any moment this person, I could find out maybe they haven't been truthful with me and maybe now they want to end the relationship, but we're supposed to be in love and working towards marriage. Like, do I want to put myself in that kind of situation and let myself be vulnerable like that again? I don't know how long it's going to take, quite honestly, for me to feel like I can do that. But yeah, I hope to hear from you all, like what you think, what your thoughts are. I hope that you watch the entire video and kind of listen to me and understand where I'm coming from. I hope that I explain things the way that I'm thinking that I'm explaining them, like I'm trying to put it into words, what I'm feeling. But yeah, I don't want it to be like a sad thing for me that I just give up on, you know, feeling like I could ever find someone to be in love with. Because it's not a thing like where I feel like, you know, I'm all to blame, I'm all at fault, or I don't have anything to offer. It's not like that. It's like, I feel like I'm taking accountability for my mistakes in situations, but men that I've dealt with haven't really taken accountability for their part in things. Like with a marriage, you want to communicate, you want to work things out. But if I'm the only one trying to communicate and work things out and you're just either shut down or like why is it like pulling teeth to get you to communicate? Because if you're going to be the head of the household, you know, if we get married, like we have to be able to talk about things, communicate about things, and, you know, and work things out, because that's what a marriage is. You still do that and you still get to know each other and love each other, and the marriage bond is supposed to last for a lifetime. So yeah, I just don't know if I want to put myself in the situation of even attempting it right now, and I don't know how long it'll take for me to want to do that. But I'm hoping that, like I said, focusing on spiritual things and kind of starting to be intentional about doing solo dates and just doing things for myself. Because again, if I don't find a husband, I want to be content with just me, you know, without a man. Like, I don't want to ever feel like I need a man to complete my life or anything like that, because even in the Bible, like, singleness is a great thing. Like, staying single keeps you from a lot of headaches, because marriage, there will be pains in marriage. Okay, I know that, definitely. And certainly there would be pains in marriage, which I knew, and we talked about, basically with me having certain beliefs and him having other beliefs, you know. So we knew that there would be, you know, in marriage there's gonna be differences or whatever. But yeah, I guess I'll stop rambling on about everything, and hope that you enjoyed this video and that you were able to listen to the entire video, and let me know. And please do comment, because I just want to hear from people, you know, from others' perspectives on things. But yeah, I want to start that solo dating thing and all of that, to try to kind of get myself, just be with myself and make sure I'm content with myself, you know. I don't feel like I'm like a bad person, or like I'm not a beautiful person inside and out. I think everyone should feel that way about themselves. Not a cocky thing, not a stuck-up thing, nothing like that. I feel like every person should feel that there is beauty in themselves, you know. And so I do feel like that way about myself. Like, I feel like I'm beautiful inside and out, and I'm a good person. Nobody's gonna be perfect. I'm definitely not perfect, and you know, I'm not going to judge anyone on, you know, on that basis, or be a judge of anyone anyway. And so it wasn't like that for me in my relationship, you know, because I wasn't looking for perfect. I was never looking for that. I was looking to be able to trust you, and, you know, trust that what you're telling me is what it is, and, you know, not to cheat on me, okay? Because I was told that wasn't going to happen. You know, those things wouldn't happen. So, you know, I was looking for all of those things. And I'm not going to give any specifics about situations, you know, in general. Just, you know, I could tell, you can tell when, like I said, with the guy who was going out of town, like there was someone else. And there was someone else. Come on. I'm not that naive. So anyway, yeah, let me close this video out because this is going to be going on. Thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoy this video. I hope that you like, comment, and subscribe. Please definitely make sure you subscribe. I'm appreciative of anyone who subscribes, anyone who views my videos, comments, anything, you know, gives me a thumbs up, anything. I do appreciate that so much. So now I'm probably going to take this makeup off and probably watch some YouTube videos because that's what I've been doing. But thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video.